All right. Uh, you got the two AC stuff, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Let me get the timer. Okay, I got it. Good to start.
Mhm.
One perm to both double solvency highways, two perm to the counterplanes. The way the plan can be done, this is two whatever needs to do the plan and counterplane over another issue. Counterplanes must compete off the text and function key to have ground objectivity and research for cancel. Daily it's catastrophic. Murray 24. Tribes are concerned about timelines of federal tribal constitution and adequacy of opportunities to provide input. Delays could result if an agency must consult with tribes at several points in the decision making process for waiver response. This consultation requirements to cause catastrophic on the local communities by increasing permitting times. B manipulation. Consultation is manipulated to no vote and dooms implementation. Husky 2K. Consultations in the progress by the regs is BI discovered best defenses tribal consultation bureau used conflicts amongst the tribes as reason for inaction. Consultation never solely was one long 11 months rate those bureaucrats knew from the beginning they would not restore ancestral lands who has say sat there fooling us. There could be a sincere dialogue span over 100,000 got not getting back Stonewall. C. Trivialization. Consultation antithetical to self-determination. Burns 18. I apply Secretary of Land and Trust Authority and tribes unless the only legal question is whether lawful for Secretary to question on authority. BI continuing long slow delays processing fee to trust applications for tribes in Alaska. Examining histories of fool's errand. D. No spillover. Murray 24. Which action subject to consultation topic for Congress does not currently require consultation for all federal actions that may affect tribal interest members opposed to bills that would bar consultation stating new requirements make process lengthy and unrealistic. Mark out unrealistic. Evaluate consequences. ISEC 2. Unyielding concern with moral goodness under custom responsibility. Purity does not ensure a humane world of real violence. Purity is complicity and injustice consequences rather than motives is significant pursuit of good generates evil. This lowest in communism is not enough. One's goals must be sincere, equally important. Judge effects in pragmatic ways, more absolute and promotes ignorance and undermines effectiveness. Five perm do the counter plan, then the applicant specifies sequencing but not time frame. Okay. Uh,
Wait, dog, what was the third perm?
um, do the plan and the counter plan over another issue.
You plan and counterplan over another issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You have like
I have like the free prep, right?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Wait, I need a timer, but my phone is like recording. Hold up, I'll timer on my computer.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, start. Okay, beta. And wait, and how long is my 2 and C?
2 NC is 6 minutes.
Okay, got it.
That's 5 minutes.
Okay, let me send you the doc.
All right, thanks.
Bro, what's that trick to like remove the analytics?
You have to install a macros.
How do I know if I have macros or not?
You you have to create a macros.
What
I
is
can
that?
I can teach it to you later. Just like
Okay, bet. Let me send the thing.
okay.
Wait, do you care about like the hats? You want them on the hats?
Well, yeah, because it's
Okay.
easier for me to see it.
Now I have to make another doc. Okay. I'm finally done with that. Okay, cancel, turn C versus and how long is mine again?
6 minutes.
Okay, fire. Should be good, beta.
Okay.
All right, let me know when you got it.
All right. You slacked it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me download it. Okay, got it.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Oh, I need it. I need time on my computer. And you said 6 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, I'll just do it sitting down. Because why not? Good? All right. Are you good, bro? Just
Bro, I
say
said
something.
yes like 5 times.
Okay, my bad, my bad. All right. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Rosalie's going to delay. Dion told you means no impact to delay because it's consequentialist. Also, the counterplan is faster than the plan. McClellan 17. Number of indigenous communities that asserted their rights and widespread exploitation companies were associated with the top 10 FPIC numerous large-scale extractive projects have been halted or delayed for extended period due to indigenous protests and indigenous advocacy is leading to revocation. Companies incur greater long-term costs if they operate without the consent. Countermeasure is notable. And on can't solve, yes, it does solve. Courts can order federal tribal consultations. Murray 24 courts issue decisions holding agencies accountable to consult with tribes, such as prohibiting agencies from taking certain actions until consultation has occurred. Also, the current landscape of federal tribal consultation is marked by impressive variability. Enforcement actions may be brought by an array of interested parties against a number of agencies in factual and specific scenarios. And it does solve every major project has had consultation beforehand, especially in these Arctic areas. On no implementation, yes, implementation, germaneness, link turn. Rulemaking without consultation dooms implementation and independently wrecks self-determination. Well, link turning the app, right 25 says Dakota Pipeline and International Culture rallies prove a germane link to the plan. On no spillover, U.S. is key. Right 25 says ratification demonstrated compliance. Said to keep a global model for self-determination. Other countries poorly implementing now, and the U.S. hasn't pushed. And the counter plan demonstrates U.S. compliance, which is necessary for modeling Organic 909. Above the declaration lies in its implementation. Real commitment will go a long way, finally healing the wounds of colonization. And the United States of the highest and indigenous inhabitants and use assertions will work domestically undermine realities on the ground, and daily infringements speak louder than the accusation, despite promises made by the conversation not been yet being initiated. First step towards remedying this would be to endorse the declaration. And yes, spillover only the counter plan sets precedent for spillover Murad 24. Unit partially lists the government actors should consult in good faith with tribes to obtain FPIC before adopting and implementing important measures to obtain prior to any project with the development of FPIC standard of codified to U.S. law provide tribes with greater influence. And they say to evaluate consequences that are linked to deontological justice ways because consequences can be predicted and utilities of nuclear war and biowar turning case tank 21. When Utah goes to the extreme, people may use biotech or atomic bombs to secure the greatest benefit for themselves, but use brutality and sacrificing innocent people. Unlike Utah, in which the action is designed by the greatest social welfare for the most people, deontological emphasizes justice and doing what is right is grounded in the consequences and making good intention. And deontological ethics can be rationally reduced. Hence, people can intuitively defy morals, and utilitarian theory cannot correctly predict the outcome of an action. The action may not always turn out desirable and sometimes turning evil. Go to perm do both. On term to both, the counterplan fund cases are both binding good faith consultations. They pass the same law before negotiations and conclude proves either the absevers are racing clash or contradictions deficit. You don't let this perm morph. And second, contradictions and lying is unjust. Johnson 25. Kent states the only actual maximum because of universal law consider whether you conceivable if fails to have a preferred act duty of admitting no exception to refrain from acting. And will make lying promises and moral action is rational to reform if contradicts oneself made into universal maximum lying. And generates a contradiction one universalizes all rational actions must lie. No giving one's word ever arise, and no practice should exist. And it is inconceivable for such a world to logically contradictory. And on perm to the counterplan. Reject perm for suffering uncertainty. A resolves OAT 89 freed from uncertainty. B should judge Young 20. Um, KBS argues that the verb should renders the terms merely advisory, but words and content not merely just intended to regard to execute. Certainty matters. Ground severing moods decides because they can always condition out a DA links and moods counterplane competition. Because permanent the counterplane doesn't sever if app is uncertain and limits. It forces the app to have certainty keywords, which is limits tiny infrastructure, speculative science apps require internal links. They also explode process limits to convert resolutions, guidance members, or dicta. In defense, they can win, say no, modification, certainty, or delay deficits, or one of the other dozen. So some deficits to consult and to be run unbeatable for decades with research. And proximate implementation plan is serving first core step when implementing moods decide topic links all pick out in case next because plans only specify vague aspirations. This independently proves that the counter plan is functionally competitive and other and essential limits out of gender picks. And on perm other issues, deontology moods this. Rye 25 says that rulemaking without consultation. Johnson 25 says that contradictory decisions are unjust. Both are always D rules. And added to NC plan to consult on both the plan and other issues. This is the best moral option, prevents consequential escape. And on perm to the counter plan and the plan, deontology means that the perm is unjust because it reneges on promise for good faith consultation. Cost apply the perm do both answers, and the perm's intrinsic. It adds a time frame component not in the plan or the counterplan voting issue. It zeros the DA and counterplan ground sequencing, but not time frame is arbitrary. You reject it. Let's go to I have some time left, so let's go on the net benefit. We'll send this after. However, extend the net benefit deontology. Right 25 says the counterplan good binding faith after IC consultation fulfills the treaty promise and is just deontology outweighs because there's too many future steps and intervening actors means that we can't predict consequences but can predict moral rights, and Utah leads to race and but to the bottom in extremes accelerate nuclear and biowars. Counterplan solve deontology better than its empirically preferred Parliament 22. When deciding people prefer to seek others and others advice responses to 50 unique moral dilemmas, we compare 896 self-choice responses, and we found the parallel systems favor deontological options more of the utilitarian options. People who are always away from problems but want to make a objective variable and find it can help people act on better evidence. And global self-determination, right 27. There's Matthew, right 25 says a lack of self-determination fuels colonial material violence, putting 476 million across 90 countries at risk. And the counterplan good binding faith after IC consultations over Europe and ILO 169 obligations best modeled worldwide, ensuring global self-determination. And yeah, I'll send the extra card.
Okay, I'll start prep when I get the card.
Awesome sauce. I'm just gonna put it into this. Okay.
Okay, I got the card.
You good?
Okay, 5 minutes prep starting now.
Wait, does the 2NR have to be on paper? The 2NR and the 2AR?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Okay, stop prep at 47 seconds left. Uh, how long do I have? 2 minutes. Hold on.
Cards?
Yeah, let me send him. Give me a second.
Oh.
Thanks. Okay, I sent the card.
Mhm. Very cool.
Okay. Good to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, wait. One sec, one sec, one sec.
Okay. Oh, we only have like 5 minutes left in the meeting, by the way.
Okay, it's fine, just go.
Okay. Do you just want to like rejoin after the 1 hour?
Um, it's fine, I'll skip.
Like,
Go.
oh. First on the premise, can see them go to the deficit trivialization. The counterplane can solve one trivialization. The counterplane allows rear cuts to exploit tribal disagreement to preserve federal control, dooming it to a no vote. That's Haskew and Burns. If dropped any condition empirically gets co-opted by settlers to dispossess natives from land, that's Conrad. Alaska land trust consultation trivial and fails. Burns 18. Ketchikan try to be self-sufficient. Ketchikan seeks parcels placed into trust to protect for future generations to enable greater development. Will you quickly feed trust applications submitting today so protection of federal law against taxation and alienation? There should be no need for consultation. The law in your authority is quite clear. Your office is obligated to provide same privileges routinely extends to tribes in 48 states. Any delays costly to us and will violate Congress rule. You cannot create two classes of tribes. You cannot discriminate. Also, there was no proper response on the implementation on the manipulation deficit as well. It was just yes implementation. They dropped the warrant that the U.S. will manipulate. They've done it in the past and they will do it again. So they have a deficit for trivialization and manipulation. So you obviously err out on this.
I'm gonna start my running prep. Shoot. Hold on. Cool. I'm gonna start my running prep now. 5 minutes.
Okay, that's time.
Yeah.
All right,
Un momento. How much time do I have for it?
5 minutes.
For the 2 AR. For
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually, why don't I? Okay, cool. Damn.
Wait. Give me a second. Let me get like flow paper.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you might want to fill that. Let me know when you're good.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Me. Oh, why do I keep standing up? Okay. I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. It is going to be. Actually, I'm not even gonna tell you. All right, bye-bye. Okay, all right. Ready? Okay, on trivialization, firstly, you want to cross-apply the response that when dropped on this, that every single project in the Arctic has gone through this whole consultation process, right? The fact that the AF does not do it beforehand just shows that they're going ahead in this without like actually consulting with all the tribes there, right? They're all their 1AC evidence is based on specific tribes that they ask. They don't actually ask like all the tribes, which is what the counterplan is doing. On more on trivialization, their card deadass is talking about delay, which is also answered by deontology, which they dropped. They dropped deontology, so there's no impact to delay. And if this allegedly doesn't sit right with tribes, then it links back to the AF because recognizing that indigenous people are essential to the land and doing change with their concerns follows the same logic that the AF uses. And the fact that deontology once dropped means you default to the fact that we have to weigh like the obligation that we have and not the consequences. So you cross apply this to trivialization because dropping deontology means that you drop the deficit because regardless of the outcome, doing the right thing is morally good. So like you don't allow any new 2AR responses on this. They completely drop deontology. So you already like default neg on this. Even if you reject the counter plan, you still reject the AF because the AF still follows the same logic as the counter plan. Um, but yeah, if you don't reject the but either way, you don't reject the counter plan because they did drop deontology. So that means that you default to like the fact that we want to go off based on like what the obligation should be, and we have proven that the obligation should be consulting with the tribes. Now, they say that we didn't respond to the implementation deficit. Again, this is not true. They, in fact, dropped their germanist link turn on case. So let's extend this rulemaking without consultation, dooms implementation, and it wrecks self-determination as the AF. This is a germane link to plan. You default neg on the link turn, and you strike any new 2-year responses on this. As for the manipulation deficit, which is also part of the implementation one, they dropped at the fact that the US is key for like self-determination and the counterplay demonstrates US compliance is necessary for a global like model, which is the right 25 card. And as it's like a secondary net benefit. They never contested. So you default neg on this. Again, it's not manipulation because, like we said, the US is going to be key for setting this global precedent. And if the US does not like set this global precedent by actually doing this with these tribes, these other countries are lacking so far behind. They're not going to be doing it either. So, morally, since you already know you default onto deontology, that means that you also default into this whole like global self-determination impact where if you do the counterplan, you know that you're gonna vote for something that will have a global effect on the world. Um, and again, there's no impact to delay because it's consequential. It's just on extend the Maclin's 2017 card, they dropped the fact that the counterplan is faster than the plan. So you already vote on this, and for solvency, because it's also because courts can order like federal tribal consultations, and that already exists in the status quo. It's just the fact that the app doesn't do it, which is inherently bad. So instead, you default to the neg because we actually do that. We make sure that these indigenous people are getting what they want, which the app claims that they're doing, that they're claiming that, oh, we're giving the indigenous people what they want. But again, why are they so like bound to this fact that like we are doing good things for the indigenous people, but we won't let other good things happen for these indigenous people. So again, that just proves that they want control. Also they dropped the fact that every major project has had consultation before. Every major project like this, especially in the Arctic and in Alaska, has had consultation before. They dropped this, so you can cross apply this to the trivialization deficit. And again, they conceded the perms. So yeah, you default neg on basically everything. There's like we have so many net benefits, especially like the global model one, which they dropped, and we have the deontology impact, which they dropped. So yeah, you're pretty much defaulting neg on basically everything on the counterplan. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I have like what?
40 seconds.
47 seconds. No, all right, 47 seconds starting. Okay, that's 47 seconds. I have 5 minutes. Okay, good to start. Bro, what is this devious smile?
This is from Westerns.
Yes, bro, we know.
I should have taken more, honestly. Okay. Yeah,
All right,
go.
good to start. Ned clearly doesn't understand what the trivialization deficit is, so they completely concede it anyway. Plus manipulation, you strike new to win our responses is unfair for us, and you error after counterplane is doomed to a novo, which means it has no solvency. That's our Haskew and Burns evidence. They had no response in the entirety of the block either. So you obviously error act because you can't vote for a counterplane that doesn't work on its own basis anyway. Again, they drop that any condition gets empirically co-opted by settlers to dispossess natives from land. That's our Conrad evidence. And again, the US will manipulate, which already takes out their good faith binding consultation and also their deontology impact to cross apply this because it's morally bad to manipulate tribes, which already wrecks any impact solvency that they might present. So you err ab because they don't solve for their own impact that they present. And going down the flow of the twin R, again, they like extended the delay deficit thing. We didn't even go for the delay deficit in the 1AR. We went for manipulation and trivialization. Cross this off your flow. And then on the trivialization, they said their evidence is just delay. How? They just said a sentence and left it there. It has no warrant. You can't take this into account. And then they said the US is key and that we need compliance, right? And that every project has gone through consultation. That's not even what the trivialization deficit is saying. The trivialization deficit is saying that the counterplane allows bureaucrats to exploit tribal disagreement to preserve federal control, which already dooms it to a novo. And they just responded to a completely different deficit that we didn't even extend. And then again, they just keep bringing up that US is key and US is key, so the US US has already manipulated before. We've exploited it before. They will do it before as they did, and they'll do it again as they did it before, as we said in the 1 AR, which goes drop. So we'll extend it again over here. And then they said there's no impact to delay. Again, we didn't extend it. Even if we go by deontology framing, it's wrong to manipulate tribes, right? Which it's already morally wrong to manipulate tribes. So we went on their deontology impact as well. And then they said that every project has had consultation again, that you cross apply that to trivialization. That isn't even trivialization. Trivialization is that bureaucrats will exploit, said before in the 2 AR. So you obviously err out because they have no solvency for their deontology impact. And the counterplan is doomed to a no vote. It has no solvency, and bureaucrats will exploit and manipulate as they've done in the past. Okay.